here is my hospital journey. So it's February 19th, Friday, February 19th. 2 days ago, I went to my primary care doctor and really just wanted to get a checkup because I was having some leg pain. I was waking up with like Charlie horses in the middle of the night and I couldn't run. It was just really painful in my legs. So I scheduled an appointment with my doctor. She wanted just to run some tests because she wasn't exactly sure, of course, what was happening. So she ran some tests. Yesterday, I got my test back, and I talked to my primary care doctor on the phone, and she said that I needed to go to the emergency room as soon as possible, which no one wants to hear. That was extremely overwhelming for me, especially because I didn't really know what was wrong. And I've been having other symptoms other than leg pain, but I didn't really think anything of it until this happened. I've been dizzy, I've had headaches, I've had a little bit of blurred vision, some weight loss, and so I came to the emergency room. Hey, so today is Saturday. I came into the ER on Thursday morning. It was around 10 o'clock, 10, 11. Good news, I get to go home today. Yay! Here in a few hours. My levels are looking good. My blood sugar's looking better. I know I briefly said my blood sugar when I came in was about 420, which is really high. We've regulated it to about around 200, which is really good for me. My goal is to get it down to 180 and stay around in that range. For people new to diabetes, the typical range is like 80 to 120. But for me, because I was so high when I came in, my goal is about 180. The past 2 weeks have been very interesting. I'm, learning a lot about type 1 diabetes. I've been reading a lot. I've been following a lot of people on Instagram that also have type 1 diabetes, which helps make me feel not as much alone. Because before I got type 1 diabetes, I honestly knew one person that had it, and she went to my high school, and I literally haven't seen her in probably 10 years. And that is the only person I knew that had type 1 diabetes. So following all these people on Instagram really has helped. One, just to feel not alone in this process. Two, just to learn more information from them about type 1 diabetes. And three, really just, I guess it goes back to kind of number one, but really just see that there are people just like me that have it. Type 1 diabetes, if you don't know much about it, it is an illness. It is a disease that I had no control over. And I know there's a lot of misconception around diabetes because a lot of people naturally think it's like, oh, you're not eating well, right? You're eating too much sugar, or you're eating too many carbs, or you're just not a healthy person. And that's actually not the case at all with type 1 diabetes. It is an autoimmune disease where your body is actually attacking your pancreas because they think it's a virus or it's a bad thing. And unfortunately, I had no control over that. Just one day, my body decided to attack my pancreas, which is very unfortunate. But sorry, I digress. Really, the past 2 weeks have been interesting because I've been learning a lot. I'm also still very confused. And so it's been really interesting. I'm pretty sure right now I'm actually in the honeymoon phase. So if you know about diabetes, you probably know about the honeymoon phase. But if you don't know about diabetes, which I didn't, so I didn't really know what that meant when people said the honeymoon phase. Really what it is basically, backtrack a little bit, when my levels were up at 400, right, I went to the hospital and they were pumping me with insulin to get it back to a normal range. When this happens, this is when it starts, the honeymoon phase, is basically your body starts to get better, right? Your pancreas starts to get better. And the honeymoon phase is considered one of those things where it's like you were so bad that now you're getting better, but eventually it's going to get worse again. So you get good before you get bad. And I'm currently in that stage. And I know I'm in that stage because my body actually, my blood sugars are dropping a ton after I eat. which is not supposed to happen, right? When you eat, your blood sugars naturally rise no matter what type of food you're having. Like it happens for everyone, not even people with diabetes. But with people with diabetes, it's actually a little bit worse, right? So when I eat bad food, this is where the carb counting comes in. I'm supposed to count my carbs to make sure it doesn't skyrocket a ton, right? I don't want to eat like a whole large pizza because it would probably go so high. So I was really confused as to why my blood sugars kept dropping after I ate. 20 to 30 minutes after I ate, my blood sugars would go to 40 or 50, which is really bad. It's not supposed to go under 70, and I was doing 40 and 50. I would start shaking. I would get really hot and sweaty. I know immediately when it's dropping. I get a little dizzy, I'm sweaty, and I literally am shaking like this. And so I knew something wasn't right. I'm taking the right amount of insulin for the right amount of carbs I was eating, but my blood sugar is still dropping a ton. So I'm definitely in the honeymoon stage. Basically that means my pancreas is still making a little bit of insulin. And right now it's controlling it, but it's going to change. And the hardest part about all of this is I don't know when it's going to change. I've heard the honeymoon phase can last a month, and I've heard it can last a year. So I really have to be careful while I'm eating and taking insulin now, because your blood sugar dropping is actually way worse than it going high. I do not want my blood sugars to be in the 40 and 50s. That is very, very bad. But unfortunately, it's been doing that every single day. So I have to be really careful on the amounts of insulin I'm giving myself right now. And it's just funny because I'm so new to this that I don't even know what I'm doing, and it's just a stressful process, right? It's very, very stressful. Thankfully, I have learned that I need snacks with me all day, every day, no matter where I go. If I walk away for 5 minutes, I need to take a snack with me. The other day, I went downstairs. I do Rover, I watch dogs. And the other day, I went downstairs to go get the dog. And I'm not even kidding. I was down there for 3 minutes and I heard the beep. Oh, I have to tell you about that. I got a Dexcom blood sugar reader. I heard a beep though, and that meant it was low, and I had to eat something immediately. I had to eat sugar or carbs immediately because going low is so dangerous. So I had to run way back up to my apartment, get sugar, then go all the way back down to get the dog. But let's talk about Dexcom. So I went to my endocrinologist on Monday, March 1st. So it was about a week ago. And she set me up with the Dexcom automatic blood sugar reader, which this puppy saved me, you guys. Before I was pricking my fingers every 2 hours. And the pricking isn't that bad, but once you have to do it every 2 hours, it's freaking terrible. I mean, I had like bruises all over my fingers. I also naturally have like cold hands. I have like bad circulation. So getting the blood out sometimes was difficult. Oh my God. So anyway, this is not even a sponsorship, but I highly recommend Dexcom, or really any blood sugar reader, automatic reader, honestly, because pricking is just so terrible. So let me show you. So Dexcom, you put actually on your belly. So let me show you here. So see, I have it right here. And what it does is it tells me my blood sugars in real time. Basically it updates every 5 minutes, which is amazing. And it hooks to my phone via an app, and it's great. It's absolutely great. Sometimes though, it's a little bit too much information. I mean, I'm watching it constantly, like waiting for it to update. So it's a little overwhelming, but way better than pricking your fingers. So I go back to my endocrinologist in another week. I talk to her about this honeymoon phase issue, about my blood sugars dropping, what I'm supposed to be doing. But that's about it. I will keep you all updated on my type 1 diagnosis journey here. Thanks for watching, and really I'm doing this to bring awareness to type 1 diabetes because, like I said, I didn't know anything about it before at all. Like, I really didn't know much, and I really want to bring awareness to it because it's such an unfortunate autoimmune disease that I wish I didn't have, but unfortunately I do have it, and there are millions of other people in this world that have it. And there needs to be more awareness on it. And there needs to be more awareness on what to do. If someone like me or someone with type 1 diabetes needs your help, if we're low on blood sugar but we can't communicate, we need to show the world what to do in these instances, because it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that I have to go through it, but more people need to know. So stay tuned. I'll tell you more later. So as you can recall, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes on February 18th of 2021. It is now June, end of June of 2021, which means I am officially eligible to get my first A1C lab tests done to see what my new levels are at. So if you don't know what an A1C is, no shame. I had no idea what an A1C was when I was first diagnosed with diabetes. Everyone kept saying A1C, A1C, A1C. No idea what it meant. To be honest, I still don't even know what the A1C stands for. But basically it's a test to see where your blood sugar levels have been for the past 3 months. So now that I've been out of the hospital for about 4 months, I'm eligible to go get another test to see what my levels have been like as a newly diagnosed diabetic while taking insulin. And a couple weeks ago, I went and got my lab results done. Just had to get some blood drawn. I also had to pee in a cup to get a bunch of tests to make sure everything was normal for me. The lab results actually came back within a day, and I got my A1C results back. They were in range. My A1C results for my first 3 months of a diabetic was 5.3, which is absolutely amazing. Anything below 5.7 is actually in normal range, which means I have been basically having a normal pancreas for the past 3 months due to my insulin. And it's just amazing. I was so excited when I found out these results, because when I went into the hospital, I was 14.6 or something. Like I just mentioned, anything over 5.7 means you have diabetes, and I was at 14. So the fact that 3 months later, as a new diabetic trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing every day, I'm at 5.3. And it was the most amazing thing to see those results. It's not an easy disease to work with at all. I mean, I have to take 4 shots of insulin a day based on, you know, my long-lasting insulin and my fast acting before meals, and, you know, carb counting. It's a lot to learn. And the fact that I was able to be in normal range for my first A1C results is absolutely amazing. So this is the end of this video for my diabetic journey. I will, of course, make other videos related to diabetes and type 1 diabetes to really share my knowledge of what I'm learning as I go through it, so I can help others as well. And if you have any questions, obviously don't hesitate to reach out to me, comment below, find me on Instagram. I'm here for you. All right, see ya.